8:14, welcome back on this Tuesday, Tournament Tuesday. Crimestoppers President and CEO Darlene Cusanza in on the latest suspect, how you can help as authorities do work to get that person. And we've got National Crime Victims Week, some information about that. So good morning to you, ma'am. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Yeah, we have an active week. And this week we actually have an individual who's been wanted from the U.S. Marshals for a newer case. Actually, the incident was February 7th. But this is LaJon Rashad Estevans, who we're looking for. His nickname is Buck. He is 22 years old. He's 5'11", 145 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. Now you see him on the screen. He is wanted by the New Orleans Police Department's 7th District for a felony aggravated assault with a firearm. And this warrant is actually, again, for a February 7th, 2026 incident that happened around 4 a.m. near Millette in Wales Street, New Orleans, Louisiana. An adult female victim was transported to New Orleans East Hospital with a gunshot wound to the right arm. Now, the victim had been riding in a silver-color four-door sedan, Nissan sedan, with several other females, and they noticed they were being followed by a four-door white Chevy Tahoe, no plate, and allegedly being driven by Estevan. He also had 3 or 4 other individuals, males, in the car with him. They were all carrying firearms and were alleged to have gotten out of the four-door white Chevy Tahoe and had a domestic altercation with the Estevan's girlfriend. And this, the victim says, actually happened several times that evening. But this transpired that night, and what we're looking for is any information on where he may be. Mr. Estevan previously lived in the 7000 block of Queensway Drive and this 8700 block of Hammond Street in New Orleans, but he's also known to have ties to Laplace. He is aware that there is a warrant out for his arrest, but we have not been able to locate him. So this is the U.S. Marshals looking for information to help serve this warrant and bring this individual in.
Okay.
So any information, again with Tournament Tuesday, you do get an additional reward if you give us a call within 48 hours mentioning that you saw it on Tournament Tuesday. But for the victim and actually the females in that car.
Scary situation, my goodness. That's all I was thinking about.
Scary situation.
All I was thinking about.
Absolutely.
And with that, I mean, that's one separate case, but that kind of dovetails into National Crime Victims Week.
That's correct. So next week is the National Crime Victims' Rights Week. And what we do is we work with all the different crime victim agencies. I know the Sheriff's Department has a huge organization that works with different agencies. But for us, what we help do is we bring justice for people by promoting their cases. We also are working on a videoing of different open cases that we used to do every year. So we're trying to do that again for open homicide cases. And this doesn't have to be a case that was just a year old. This is, we have several that are, as you know, years and years old, cold cases. And when we bring the families together, when we get their story out again in front of the public, it's just, very therapeutic for the families. And certainly if we're getting information. I can tell you that on the Tournament Tuesday cases, we've actually had 3 arrests. We had information on the case we covered last time we were here. So people are paying attention, absolutely paying attention. So for the families out there, what you need to do for the Victims' Rights Week, and this is something that we'll actually start taping towards the end of the month, give us a call or send us your information at Crimestoppers, info@crimestoppersgno.org. We're going to start gathering and setting up time for interviews for those families. The other folks that I want to reach out to is all the victim services organizations. There's several. I mean, there's large organizations. We mentioned the Sheriff's Department, but there's certainly smaller organizations that are run by individual victims' families. Reach out to us because we have another project that we want to work with everybody on, and we're looking for an agency representative from each of those agencies to kind of gather together and start that networking of sharing of this information. And it's all done, again, to just show that, people care and give power back to the victims, because that's what's taken away from them when they become a victim, right?
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
Well, we do thank you so much, as always, ma'am, walking us through that Tournament Tuesday. Also resources for families who are looking for that help here. We do thank you. With that.